Friends, it's our old friend, Mr. Leaking Toilet. So why do a job once when you can do it twice, right? So now the gasket that connects the tank to the bowl is leaking, so I'm going to go ahead and replace that. I just got a generic Plumworks extra thick gasket, and then this is going to be what goes on that massive screw or hollow bolt that's underneath the tank that connects to the toilet. And this one is the one, the flush valve shank washer is the one that goes inside of the toilet tank that the flap or flopper sits on top of. So the water's off. Let's get this disconnected, and then we'll go ahead and get these bolts on. Got a bolt on this side and a bolt on this side. Remember, we got our trusty little bucket right here. And let's go ahead and get this undone. Should be a professional at this by now, right? Okay, yep. There we go. That's good. The fantastic thing is there's not a lot of fluid, not a lot of water in here. Alright, that's going the wrong direction. That's going the right direction. At least we're going to find out if it is. And that is. And look at that, it came off all at once. That's the way I like it. There we go, and there we go. So we got pieces right there. Let's get the other side done. Mott's apple juice, can't beat that. Okay, we got it. It's right there, but we don't have the washer. So that's not a problem. We're going to get the washer right now. And then the kit that I bought was $3.48. And then that's for the gasket for the bowl. And then the shank washer was like $2. So for $5.50, basically $6 after tax, this is going to get taken care of. Now I got to turn the camera off because I got to get this off. I got to dump out the tank into the sink. And then I will go ahead and show how to replace that gasket. All right, I got my big wrench. Nickname. All right, that was not on there all that well, so maybe that had some fun to do with it too, but let's go ahead and get this off. Yeah, this washer's pretty much shot and done. So let's go ahead and take this off, and then I'll show you what the inner piece looks like after I get this out. All right, socket I used was that Deepwell 5/8 socket with my impact. Come on, buddy, focus up here. All right, and I'm just using my 5/8 wrench to go ahead and take this off. Now this bolt isn't 5/8. I should know that, but I don't for some reason. Oh, yay, plumber's tape. Well, that's pretty. Go ahead and get that off because that doesn't need to be on there. Just take that off, and this fancy stuff is going to go in the garbage. Let me set you down for a second, and I can go ahead and open this bad boy up. Then I'm actually going to be replacing that other gasket that I mentioned as well. So if this thing would ever open, we'd be in business. All right, well, basically this is what we need. This is going to end up going on here. So we'll get this over this, and this is the soft, it's almost like a foam, and it's going to fit on top of there. But before I do that, because I want to replace the shank washer as well, let me go ahead and get a big crescent wrench or big wrench and get this open. All right, I got the nut off. Let's get the nut off. All right, that sucker's just going to come right out. All right, let's go ahead and get that washer replaced. All right, that pulled right out now, and this is what we're after. That is the shank washer. Prison. All right, let me go ahead and get this bad boy off, and then we'll go ahead and piece it all back together. But yeah, this is like an old piece of iron pipe. I don't even think that's plastic. This toilet must be ancient. So there you go. I'll probably clean out that area too, take some paper towel and just kind of wipe out that little circular area, make sure there's no debris in there so the washer can sit flat. All right, that's the hole, in case you didn't already know. And I got this washer from the old gasket off. Now we're going to go ahead and put the new stuff on. Scraped this off, wiped it off, got inside the hole as best as I could, and let's piece it all back together. So just so you know, we're putting the shank washer on this direction, cup side down. This area right here is going to face onto there. I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, and we're back. So the washer's on there. It's the new one. It's flush up against, and I just walked it down. So when you first put it on, it kind of fights you once you get past the first few threads. Just work it back and forth and side to side until you finally push it all the way flush. So everything's put back together. Now, I'm not really going to be able to see it. Let's see if I can get you in there. But, alright, I'll show it when it's done. But basically what we're doing is we're going to, well, I put the gasket on. And it's pushed all the way as flush as I possibly can get it. It's pretty much right up against there. And then when you put this tank onto the bowl itself, it's going to end up compressing down and it's going to push it up in there. So, like I said, this is like a foam material. And these are 5/8, by the way. I don't know which one I grabbed. This is 9/16, that's why. So, the original wrench I had was 9/16. I grabbed the wrong one. So, it's 5/8 for this bolt and 5/8 for the other bolts that go on here. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and place this tank on top of there again, and then let's go ahead and repeat this process. Everything I did to take it apart, we're going to do in reverse to put it back together. So this is pretty much how it should look. I got to go ahead and put my chain back on, but this should be at a slant. I mean, I could have this tube going all the way over here a little bit more if I wanted, but this should be perfectly fine. This tube right here is going to go back into here. Maybe not. There we go. And then that's just enough that I can go ahead and get everything put back together. I'm going to go ahead and get this reattached. Get that on there as snug as I possibly can. Exciting stuff. Exciting stuff. Alright, now it's snug, and I just make sure that it's on there as snug as I possibly can, but you don't want to over torque it with your hand and then crack it because it's just plastic, and believe me, it doesn't take much to break it. So I'm going to go ahead and get the bolts, the nuts put back on the bolts along with the washers and all that, and then we'll go ahead and fire this sucker up and see what happens. Turn the water back on. Stupid camera. And I'm letting this fill, and let's see if this sucker leaks. New washers all around, hopefully not. So far it's holding water. Just wait till it raises up. Any day now, buddy. You can tell where the water rests because you can see that powdery water line, which is probably just white mold or calcium. I don't hear anything dripping. So far that's a good sign. Let's find out. I don't see anything leaking. So, I think we found our secondary fix. Now, the other fix I made did last a while, but just some cheap washers for $6. You can fix it yourself. If you get a plumber out here to do it, it's going to cost you a heck of a lot more than that. So, just a matter of preference. If you like doing stuff yourself, which is probably why you're watching this channel, then this is definitely not hard to do, especially if you have an impact. And the impact I have, I mean, I got a wonky impact as well that has much more torque than this one does. I just chose this one because it's already angled for me, and it's easy to use. You can find these for almost nothing because nobody wants them. Nobody likes them for some reason. So I don't see any leaks. I'm assuming that was the second problem. and it was leaking, when you would flush it, the water would run out the back and run over this side bolt right here on this right side. So it's holding water. So far, so good. So 2 little inexpensive washers.